Our next guest knows what it's like to be on top of the world as a four-time Olympian, but also what it's like to struggle with mental health issues. Brent Hayden won Canada its first ever 100-meter freestyle medal. That was at the 2012 London Olympics. After making the podium, he took 7 years off from the sport, dealing with depression and agonizing back pain. Before returning to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics as one of the veteran leaders of Canada's swim team, Brent is joining us this morning with more on his journey. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what a journey it's been. I mean, after you retired, talk to me a little bit about what those years were like for you.
You know, it was the first few years were quite challenging because when athletes retire, not only was I already dealing with depression, but we go through a loss of identity because, you know, we go our whole lives, knowing who we are, and that's who we are as athletes. But then, you retire and you're kind of left in this sort of state of, well, who am I now? You've also kind of lost a lot of connections with other people that were so important, in your daily life. So it was a struggle, and I actually did almost come back to sport, but I think that was out of fear. And when I realized that that was not the right reason for me to come back, I ultimately decided that, you know what, I'm just going to stay retired and continued going on with my life.
But you did come back to the sport. What gave you the desire and the strength to want to compete again?
Yeah, it was actually my love of actually teaching swimming, because when I was retired, like, even though I had lost my relationship with the water and it was very painful for me to get in and swim for myself, I still found a lot of value and love for it based on giving it back to younger swimmers who are up and coming. So my wife and I would travel all across the country teaching our swim clinics, and we realized that we wanted to take our curriculum and put it online. So while we were visiting in Lebanon, we found an amazing pool and we got in and started filming the course. And I think just forcing myself to get back in the water and go through my drills and other things, and just being under the Lebanese sun with the amazing sunrises and sunsets, just all the good memories of all the little moments that lay between the big ones started to come back. And I felt amazing in the water, so that kind of sparked the whole idea, well, what if I actually did come back out of retirement? So I reached out to a bunch of people, and the rest is history.
Yeah, what was it like preparing for that? I mean, you're preparing during a pandemic. How different was that for you?
Oh, it was like totally different because, one, they closed the pool. So what do? I ended up getting a wetsuit and going out to a lake and starting open water swimming, getting over my fear of swimming in open waters. And the other thing that I did was I got a rubber band and strapped myself to my mother's garden gate and swam in one position in the little backyard pool. Yeah, just little things like that, because sometimes your preparation doesn't need to be perfect. You just need to be doing something, and something is always better than nothing, right? So had to definitely get creative.
Also interesting that you had a fear of swimming in open water. That surprises me.
Yeah, I blame my sister for that. We were in Okanagan Lake, and she told me the Ogopogo was going to eat me, and I've always been worried.
Always the siblings.
Always checking behind me every. Yeah.
I know, they get us every time.
Sister.
Okay, I want to ask you about Swimming World naming you their comeback swimmer of the year. I mean, so awesome. Was there a time in the whole process of your comeback where you thought, I'm not sure if this is going to happen?
Oh, definitely. That thought pops in your head all the time. But, I have an amazing coach. He'd been my coach ever since I graduated high school. So we're going back to 2001. So trusting in his process, but realizing that, throughout my entire journey, it's never been perfect. I've always had setbacks. That setbacks are just a natural part of the journey. And sometimes when you feel like you're being held back, it's just getting ready to launch you even more forward. So, yeah, definitely, crying on the phone from my Bluetooth while I'm driving home to my wife because I had such a bad practice were, not, I won't say uncommon, but they did happen. So it's part of the journey.
Yeah, and part of that journey, of course, is talking about your mental health and your struggles with that. Talk to me about the decision to speak openly about it.
Yeah, that was quite a difficult decision because as an athlete, we were always taught to hold our emotions back and not show that to our competitors, right? Or not even to our other teammates, that we always had to appear tough. But I think it actually takes a stronger athlete to actually be the one to actually open up. And when I first started doing it, I started getting just a lot of really great messages from people sharing how much me sharing my message has helped them. And that's just kind of inspired me to speak about it more, not necessarily for myself, but because of who it can help.
And it's so important that you carry on that conversation, Brent. Thanks for having that conversation with us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.